terms. We're going to clarify the terms used inside A Course in Miracles. What are the terms? What does that mean? What's the definition of the word spirit? What's the definition of ego? That we're all the same. It doesn't matter what terms we use. What is the purpose that I've been choosing it? It must be giving me something to experience the oneness, to experience the deep forgiveness. That is the universal experience. When our brain wants to take that word and analyze it, we know that's gonna be a trap. But the problems are not here. Problems are in the mind. So that's why we're gonna resolve. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Starting A Course in Miracles with you. I'm Lita Sportel at litashealing.com and founder of the Whole Wellness Method, and the video you are about to watch is a mini video, a smaller version of the actual full video that I have made. And we are discussing the fundamental concepts of A Course in Miracles. So it's an introduction to A Course in Miracles, some of the terms used inside A Course in Miracles. And that way you get to kind of get an exposure to those principles and see and feel if A Course in Miracles is a path for you. I know it is the path for me in terms of my spirituality path, but there are many paths out there and they all lead to the same place. So you decide if this is your path. So perhaps you want to dive deeper into the full videos of Starting A Course in Miracles with you. And I would love to see you in there and enjoy the mini video. And today we are starting the introduction of the clarification of terms, where we are going to go through each of the clarification terms. We're going to clarify the terms used inside A Course in Miracles. That way you can see some of these terms, you can understand them, and you can then kind of see how you feel with this whole concept of A Course in Miracles, which will allow you to know if you want to dive deeper, or if you just had some questions about certain terms used in A Course in Miracles and you weren't sure what they meant. So let's get into the introduction first. Don't think that this course is about a philosophy where we're going to try to analyze a theology and we're going to talk about all these terms. And while this is the clarification of terms, but I don't want you to be so wrapped up around the whole terms. Like, what are the terms? What does that mean? What's the definition of the word spirit? What's the definition of ego? What's the definition of mind? What does God mean? When we'll talk about when we go in that realm and we start talking this way and we start thinking this way, we'll talk about what that is, the ego, but we'll talk more about what the ego is trying to do. So, nor is it concerned with precise terminology. So this is not a course where we're going to define something in a mathematical equation and then we got to prove this exact thing every time. This is not that. It's more of feeling with your heart, not your brain. So it's very important for you to right away, get that in your mind and your brain, that this is more leading through your heart and an experience. Exactly that is, but it's a work of art. It's a poetic, not of this world work, which means that if you try to analyze it through the brain is going to go like mine. It's going to go like, wait, what? What did he just say? I didn't understand a thing. But if you feel what the message is and what the words are saying, then you have the experience that we want. And it's your experience. It's not me telling you what your experience will be. It will be your own experience, and you will own that. And that's how you'll know that this is the path for you. So it is concerned only with atonement or the correction of perception. So we'll talk about what atonement is, but it's about correcting the perception that we are separate, to just put it simply. So it's the content, not the form, that the Course in Miracles is concerned about. It's the content, which is correcting the thought of separation in our minds, rather than proving anything and using terminology and making it a different religion. Because Ken is saying A Course in Miracles is not meant to be an alternative theology. We have plenty of theologies out there. A Course in Miracles is not intended to be another theology. So the means of the atonement is forgiveness, right? It's what I just mentioned. So atonement is the goal of A Course in Miracles, which means it is forgiveness. It's salvation, it's the correction, it's the true perception, it's the real world, it's the miracle. So all these different words can be used interchangeably to mean that we are in an illusion, we are in a distortion, we need to undo that, we need to remember who we are, we need to correct the mistaken belief that we are somebody we're not. There's no sin. Sin is what, Christianity has had us believe that there is sin, but we'll talk about that. We'll clarify why there is no sin. But it's that original error that we believed we've separated that needs correction. Now, when he says the structure of the individual consciousness, by individual consciousness, Jesus means here the split mind. And what the split mind is that on the level of consciousness, which is the level of the mind, which is also an illusion, but it's the better illusion that we need to understand and tap into, because we are trapped on the level of the body. We're trapped on the level of the world, the external time, space, ego, and that level. On that level, we can't correct anything. We're just recreating more of this particular ego and more of this particular experience of separation. We have to go above the battleground, which is that level of the mind. That's the consciousness. That's also an illusion, because it only is the very top level. So top level 1 is the only truth, which is the truth of God. God is oneness, wholeness. There's nothing else to be said. There's not even need for forgiveness, because everything is already there. Now, on that level, there's not much we can talk about, because everything is already resolved. There's never been a problem to begin with. But below that is the level of consciousness, which is where we need to go to. We need to go from the level of the body, level 3, to the level 2, level of the mind, the consciousness, to remember that we're already up to level 1. So we're in level 3, the level of the body. We need to go up to level 2, the level of the mind, to remember that we really have never left level 1, which is the level of God and heaven, perfect oneness. That's the only reason we want to look at the ego, to overlook it, which means I want to understand how I've been choosing it, why I've been choosing it, what does it give me, what is the purpose that I've been choosing it? It must be giving me something. Well, maybe I need to realize it's been painful. What it's been giving me has been painful. It has a big cost, because I've been choosing guilt over forgiveness. So now I'm learning that. And again, it takes time to learn that lesson, to learn and to experience yourself that it's painful to choose the ego. I can't tell you that. Jesus can't tell us that. We have to experience that it's painful to choose the ego and then say, I don't want it anymore. So that's the overlooking. It means you see it, but you look beyond it. You look at it, but you look beyond it. And eventually you simply choose not to believe in it. That's the goal, to simply look at the ego and say, that's not who I am. Thanks, but no, that's not who I am. I don't believe you anymore. All terms are potentially controversial, and those who seek controversy will find it. Okay, that's another kind of like warning here. It's like, if you're looking to make this course controversial and to have arguments about it and to say, no, he didn't mean that, he means that, and which I see all the time in circles of studying A Course in Miracles, you will, if that's what you're looking for, you will find that. But he's inviting us to not use this course as a way to separate with each other and as a way to argue with each other. Let the words, Ken is saying, let the words work within your heart. It is the experience of love I want you to have, not an intellectual understanding. It's the experience of love. So if we can remember this throughout us studying A Course in Miracles together, or in this particular section of starting A Course in Miracles, or any of the other programs that I have, or any of your own work with A Course in Miracles that you do or that you continue to do, let the words work within your heart. The experience of love, not the brain, not the intellectual understanding of A Course in Miracles. We're only asked, Ken is saying, to only agree on one thing. We are one in purpose. The form doesn't matter. It's the purpose that matters. It's the content that matters. So this is not a course to be believed, but experienced. We keep saying that, but it's very important as we're starting this journey that we're really understanding this. It's not a course to be believed. It's a course to be experienced, which means that when you're doing a lesson in the workbook that says something that your brain is like, no, I don't want to do this lesson. I don't believe in what the title is saying. So when you go there, it's because you want to believe it. He's not asking you to believe it. He's asking you to experience it. And if it works for you, it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, then you leave it aside and you don't follow this path. It's that simple. You don't need to believe in it. You don't need to argue with anybody about believing in it. None of that. Which is like freedom. It's like not making it another religion, not making it another cult, not making it another group of Course in Miracles special students. None of that. Here alone, consistency becomes possible, because here alone, uncertainty ends. So the only consistency about A Course in Miracles, if you're looking to find controversy, you're going to find it. If you're looking for consistency, you're going to find it in the content of love, that the goal is to experience love, to experience the oneness, to experience the deep forgiveness. That is the universal experience. That's what is consistent throughout A Course in Miracles. Everything else could change. The words change, they're used in different ways. So don't look there, look into the content of love. This course remains within the ego framework where it is needed. That's an important statement. The course is using language that we can understand. If it was using language about heaven and oneness and God and Christ and love and all these different things, they sound great, but it's not where we're at. So the course meets us where we're at. Where we're at is special relationships, anger, upset, stress, anxiety, depression, fear, problems, happiness, excitement, pleasure, special love, special hate, all these different things is where we're at. That's where the course comes and meets us at. And it uses the Christian language because it was meant more for the Western audience that was permeated by Christianity. And it uses that language, and we have a separate video on clarifying some of the Christian language inside A Course in Miracles, because there's been many misconceptions and distortions of Jesus' message. And so Course in Miracles is it's not coming to correct anything, it's not coming to say the other things are wrong, it's just coming to say it's a new way of really understanding certain things. And again, it's an experience. So level 3, the body. Level 2, the mind, consciousness, the split mind. Level 1, God. So the course is not concerned with what's beyond all error. So the course is not about that top level of God. Because again, it would be one sentence and the book would be over. God is, there's nothing else to be said. God is. Okay. What do we do with this information? It's like, oh, great, I'll meditate on that. God is. But, so the Course is not to tell you God is. The Course is to tell you you have forgotten that God is and there's nothing else. Which is going to be the right mind teacher, loving teacher, and it's going to set that stage with the right principles. That's what the Course is doing. What you do in that process is because you're following the one truth, that you're, through the practice of forgiveness and all the different lessons and all the different things that you are going to be going through in this path, all these are they're just going to follow. So the Course is going to be by your side in that path. Therefore, it uses words which are symbolic and cannot express what lies beyond symbols. So that's another thing to remember, is that this Course is using symbolic words. So again, when our brain wants to take that word and analyze it, we know that's gonna be a trap. The answers that the ego gives are within the level 3 of the world. It's, you resolve this with this tool from that. You change this by changing that. You use matter to matter, ego to ego solutions within the box of the ego. The Course is going to give you solutions from level 2. The Course is not going to give you solutions from here. It's going to give you solutions for here, but from here. Hope the thing is making sense. So from level 2, the solutions will come to resolve level 3, the level of ego, the level of the world, the level that we believe we're at. So the Course will come, and once we tap into that level 2 of the mind, of the consciousness, we will be able to have solutions for all our problems here. But the problems are not here. The problems are in the mind. So that's why we're going to resolve the problems. The ego may ask, how did the impossible occur? How did the separation even happen? You're telling me we're separated. Well, how could it happen? If we're all one, how is it that we're all separate? So it will ask these questions if you haven't had this question already. I know I've had this question. I've even asked Ken myself. I'm like, well, how did this happen? So we're going to ask these questions, and we're going to address them all. But just know that some of these questions are being asked by the ego, and that's okay. We'll see that behind that question of how did the impossible happen, there really is a call for love to say, show me that I'm wrong. The separation is not reality. Love has not been destroyed, and I deserve to be loved. Ultimately, that's what we're all calling for. I deserve to be loved. But the ego then comes and really twists that in ways that we'll see. But it's that simple. And that's what's behind the question of how did the impossible happen. Now, in this process, you want to have a symbol of love guiding you through this. The Course in Miracles, we have the Holy Spirit, we have Jesus, we talk about the Christian language. If that is not resonating with you, you find your symbol of love. It doesn't matter how you call it. It just has to be an absolute symbol of love that has no ego in it. I hope you felt some inspiration from this video. And if these are concepts that are interesting to you and you want to see if A Course in Miracles is your path, then join me inside the Starting A Course in Miracles with You program. You are going to be getting a step-by-step process of videos that talk about terms like the mind, the ego, forgiveness, love, fear, and all these different concepts that we find in A Course in Miracles. Also, why there is the Christian language in A Course in Miracles, and we're going to clarify some of these misconceptions around that, and a lot of other things. So just check it out and see if it's a program that you want to dive deeper into. I really hope to see you in there and continue this journey with you, leaving you in whole wellness. Bye-bye.